Have you ever thought these dry, handwritten data lines are actually hiding a monster capable of swallowing light itself? Look deep into that eye of the universe. A black hole so massive it defies logic. Put our Earth in here. It's more fragile than a speck of dust. Even the fiery sun we are so proud of before this is just a tiny fading ember. We proudly build spaceships and construct space stations to call ourselves conquerors. But step back and look. An entire galaxy can be crushed in the blink of an eye in this place. And the most terrifying part isn't in the present. This fading yellow radiation, that sparkling galaxy, did you know? We are only seeing their ghosts from billions of years ago. Those hazy layers of nebula are covering up a cruel truth. That place was once a lush red planet, now reduced to nameless dust drifting aimlessly. A frenzied vortex of attraction. It twists every law of physics humanity has ever worshipped, creating a storm of pure, unstoppable energy. Do you see that blindingly bright sphere? It's not a beacon of hope. That is a final meal struggling on the accretion disk right before plunging into the void. Decades ago, from a humble observatory, humanity accidentally caught a glimpse of a passing light, a faint blue dot. Who would have thought it was a greeting from the most distant nightmare? It reigns among the stars like a tyrant. That blazing red vortex drains the life force of everything around it, leaving an eternal shadow covering all hope. But wait, this is nature's most spectacular trick. We were busy analyzing the red-black disk, captivated by the nebula and the majestic starry sky. Only for a tiny heat map to point out the harsh truth that yellow flash isn't just light, it is tearing through our very time. As the light erupts to the point of blindness, a massive yellow vortex surges. That is the moment a giant star explodes, officially opening the brutal feast. It doesn't chew, it swallows whole. Those brilliantly red radiation rays are actually the silent screams of matter being torn apart. Slipping down that abyssal mouth, the eerie purple-rimmed disk, the lightning bolt tearing across the sky. Beautiful, right? But that is the exquisite beauty of absolute destruction. From the very center of the abyssal black hole, a beam of light shoots straight out. No, it's not escaping. The monster is just throwing up the scraps it couldn't bother to digest. Gas and dust drift aimlessly. A blue-white vortex gradually takes shape, slowly curling into perfect rings of clouds, only for everything to eventually become a dull gray cloud of dust. The cycle of the stars has closed forever. A blinding light flashes one last time, exposing a warped, bent spatial grid. By what right do we still consider ourselves the center of this universe? Do you think falling into that spinning black hole would be a quiet night? Not at all. The first sight to suffocate your eyes will be an infinitely deep funnel web, tearing apart the very boundaries of reality. Look at this magnificent web of light. It's not fireworks, but the final waltz of a doomed cluster of stars being crushed into that frantic vortex of light. In just a blink, the black hole swallows everything. If our fragile blue sphere were to accidentally pass by, would there even be time for a sigh? Space here twists like a cheap piece of fabric. The boiling ring of fire is coldly sliced by a beam of lightning. In this kingdom, the speed of light is nothing but a slow joke. Look at that tiny blue dot, lost in the frame. When faced with the blinding black hole, it is as fragile as a candle standing in a solar superstorm. Waves of light scream as they pour down the space-time funnel. Welcome to the eternal prison, where yesterday and tomorrow are crushed into one. A bizarre purple ray pierces through the simulated membrane, revealing a purple vortex full of resentment. Is that the universe bleeding, or the remnants of an extinguished civilization? The fiery red accretion disk is casually devouring a vast expanse of stars. No mercy, no escape. Albert Einstein once sat in silence to ponder this madness, and when that energy beam shot out, the universe confirmed his most terrifying imagination was actually the naked truth. Every object hurtles into the stomach of the giant orange vortex, a ravenous hunger with absolutely no end. Behind that massive ring of fire looms a spatial gate shrouded in gloomy blue mist. Wait, is what lies beyond absolute death, or a shortcut to a twin universe? The hazy nebula curtain tears apart, exposing the shadow of an abyssal chasm. Do you dare to look straight into the lifeless eyes of nature? The sorrowful streaks of light drift toward the starry horizon. The most silent farewell, but also the most brutal. See this colorful cloud? It's not a New Year's fireworks display. That is the flesh and blood of galaxies being twisted in the grinder of gravity. Amidst the swirling red clouds, a halo of light flickers like a dying breath before turning into freezing blue ripples. Nature always knows how to crush beauty in the most magnificent way. You are looking right into the heart of the Milky Way. A place where an earth-shattering supernova, to us, is as light as a cosmic sneeze. A brilliantly radiant halo flashes one last time to say goodbye, leaving behind an Earth plunged into solitary darkness, chilling and terrifyingly hopeless. But the predator shows no mercy. From the ruins, the deep vortex rolls up again, forging a brand new black hole ring. Along the dark orbit, everything freezes like on a tranquil sheet of ice, while the space around it ripples and tumbles at the dictator's will. An abyssal hole appears, tossing weak blue ripples in all directions. The last faint trace, showing that something called life once existed here. From the eternal realm of death, an intense beam of energy suddenly tears through the night. The light shoots up like a furious roar of a universe trying to fight against its doomed fate. Look at how the curved wave bends and sways, then slowly converges into a perfect circle. Don't mistake this for the end. A terrifying rebirth is brewing right at the event horizon. Mathematics was once our ultimate pride, humanity's sharpest weapon. But then, even the greatest equations must collapse and fall silent before an utterly still black hole with no beginning and no end. A frenzied orange disk spins around a dense, pitch-black shadow. It slowly eclipses every last bit of light, like an eternal solar eclipse. Do you feel breathless, witnessing everything being stripped of its right to exist? Even a transcendent mind like Einstein had to ponder. He predicted it right, two black holes twisting into each other, preparing for a collision powerful enough to tear the very fabric of space-time. But do you know what is greater than those looping formulas or those giant telescopes? It is your face. It is the mere 3-pound brain of a human creature as small as a grain of sand. That's right, even if the nebulae fade away, even if space shatters into fragments, Our curiosity and desire to survive have never yielded to the darkness. We keep building spaceships, igniting the flames of pride from rocket launch pads, daring to reach out of our tiny cradle of Earth to challenge the void itself. So, when your family looks up at the night sky, do not be afraid. That eye of the black hole might swallow light, but it is our willpower that will eternally light up this entire universe.